live. Hello, YouTube. I am Bruna and I'm the hostess today. Today I'm replacing Bruno, who chooses the topic productivity. That's what we're going to talk about. This is Talk and Talk, a platform where we come to communicate in English, Spanish, Italian, and French. It's a safe place, and this is not a class, this is an immersion. This means there isn't anybody here to correct, to judge, or to teach you anything, but you're going to learn a lot from other people's experiences and from their knowledge too. As I said, this is a safe place, so please let's be respectful, not correct one each other, and enjoy it. As I said before, this is not a class, but if you want to take classes, you can go to our website, talkandtalk.com.br. You can find more information there. There are classes available for beginners and intermediate students. And if you are part of the plan, you can also have access to the questions previously, so you can get prepared before the meeting. Okay, today with me I have Melissa, Felipe, Eduardo, and Johnny has just arrived. So let's start introducing ourselves. Felipe, can you introduce yourself, please, Lira?
Yeah, sure. My name is Felipe Lira. I am 43 years old. I'm from Recife. I'm married. I have one daughter, and I work as a network engineer. That's it.
Very good. What about you, Mel? Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Melissa. I live in Campinas. It's also a little cold here today. What else? I have another job, but I'm passionate about English. And things I like to do besides English is watch good movies or series on TV and also go hiking. It relaxes me.
Okay, that's awesome. I didn't know you liked it. Very good. What about you, Eduardo? Your turn.
So I am Eduardo. I'm from Curitiba, and beyond the English, I usually to do in my free time is spend time with my son, going out with friends, and walking. Because so here in Curitiba, it's 2 degrees Celsius. It's very colder now. It's very cold now.
What?
It's the colder capital of the Brazil. It's true. And I'm trying walking in the same time I am in the meeting to try to get some hot in my body, you know. Nice
Just
to meet
warm
you,
up a little
everyone.
bit. Yeah. Oh gosh, true. That's really cold. Okay, I
Yes.
can imagine. Thank you. And what about you, Johnny? Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. So it's just for introduce myself,
Yes.
or okay.
Just
So I'm
introduce.
Johnny. I'm 26, and I'm from Osasco, São Paulo. I'm Croatian, and yeah, my major was in electrical engineering, and nowadays I work with electricity market, and yeah, I'm very excited to discuss this topic. I think it will be productive, this conversation. So that's it.
Okay, that's good. The conversation will be productive, right? And I am Bruna. I live in São Paulo. I work as a community manager here on Talk and Talk, and also as a teacher. I live with my family. Now it's been part of my journey, learn Spanish and also work out. So I'm really enjoying this, not new, but this phase. I'm going to the gym more often. It's been really, really nice. And also studying Spanish. I'm really enjoying these journeys. I think that's it about me, guys. So let's start about the meaning. What is productivity for you, Mel? What do you think?
I think as something like the video showed us, being productive is being able to do more in shorter time, but not in no quality way, but with quality, and also take advantage of the time you have to produce well. You don't need to produce 1,000 things, but these 1,000 things are awful. No. It's being intelligent to know how to use your time and take advantage of that time you have to produce something well, So I think that's productive to me.
Yes, and this is a big challenge, right? We're gonna talk about the tips, and how to do it, but it's really, really complicated because sometimes we are just doing random stuff and nothing makes sense. You're just working on things in a disorganized way. I think it has a lot to do with organization too. But
yes, nowadays
yes.
I can say I have focus, so I try to organize, and at least I try. At the moment I'm doing something, I'm making the most of that period and focusing on what I'm doing. I try not to do, like you said, many things at the same time, thinking I am being productive. Maybe I'm not.
Yes, really difficult. What about you, Johnny? What do you think is productive? What do you think productivity is?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was thinking about it in basically in productivity in a workspace. Like it's not you work like 10, 12 hours with no quality, as Melissa said. But if you have like 8 hours per day to work, try to productive for me. It is use this time or shorter to do your best and in a good way. Like you can see the results. Not maybe you have sometimes like 8 hours. Sometimes can make it extra hours, but actually, if you see the result of it in the final of the day, it is not good. So productivity for me is not you work like hours and hours in sequence, but you if you have the time fixed for this, try to use in a productive way, like spend, because sometimes we confuse procrastination and we think we are productive in that time, and so something like that is not totally far in my mind, but I think in this way something like
No, it's clear. It's totally clear. And maybe we can, like, when you said something really nice about procrastination, maybe we can suggest this theme for Bruno next week, because we always have a lot to talk about that too, right? It's really, really difficult. Yeah. Lira, what about you? What do you think is productivity?
Productivity for me is to do the thing with quality and in a short period of time, and without the quality. And for it, you need to change sometimes behaviors or focus on the task, that you need to achieve. That's it.
Very good. Thank you so much. Couldn't agree more with you. And Eduardo, what about you?
So it's very interesting because so when we look for history, we see uh, how uh, how our entrepreneurs, I don't know how can I say, antepassados, make more with less. Uh, I believe that it started with the man of the when he found fire uh, and make some tools with stone rocks with rocks. So their productivity improved, and they could make more with less energy, less time, and more closer than today, when we started the industrial era in England, when they invented the machines, the productivity improved a lot, and so they enriched it in the same time, because they could decrease the price of the production, no, and they could produce much more with less money, with less time, and in the other period, quality was mentioned. The quantity of the goods are productivity or are made. It's not so important, but the quality, the quantity and the quality in the same time. And so productivity in history is very interesting, no? And so
Yes, I've never thought about it.
I think today we are in another era. No, we are rethinking about what is productivity, because of big data and so the connection, no, the communication is today is more fast. It's each time is more fast, and so 5G will change more and more our productivity. I think is it.
I loved it. I loved it, this background you brought. I think I haven't thought about it this way, you know, like the industrial revolution and how it made like productivity change somehow, right? And I totally think this, like what you said, connects with what Melissa was saying, you know, about being intelligent in a way you can produce more in a shorter period of time, right? I loved it. Thank you so much for bringing it. And what do you usually do to be productive, Lira? Maybe we can connect question 3 and 4. Like, what do you usually do? And if you have tips to be more, you can share with us.
I focus on the task, you know. In summary, that's it. I try to avoid the distractions when I have a task to do. For example, a documentation, you know. Sometimes I need to make a documentation for a client, for a customer. So I need to be documentation. It's I don't like do documentation, but it's necessary. So to be more productivity, I focus in the task. So I advise, it's my tips for being more productive for me.
Okay, good. Just focus on the task. And this is really hard for me, you know, because I start doing something and then something else interrupts me. So I stop the thing I was doing and I start doing something else. And I didn't finish the other task. And then everything turns into a snowball and it's crazy. So it's really complicated. But what I've been trying to do is using Trello to track the tasks I have, you know, and then like when I forget what I have to do, I just check there and it reminds me, you know, the things I have to do. It really helps.
Because with distraction, sometimes I lose the logic, the raciocínio, you know, when I'm doing the task.
Yes, totally. Just like me, it's really, really bad. Johnny, does this happen to you too? Do you have any tips to be more productive? What do you do? Why think you
Yeah,
froze?
for sure. So, yeah, in general, like that, I try to focus in the main objective, like the task. And one thing it is like a chips. I like to use the Pomodoro. Like it is, you can use an app or something to count your time. It's like in general, the pattern is 25 minutes. You focus totally without interruption, and then have 5 minutes to break, and then 25 minutes again. You make this circle like 4 times, 25 minutes. Focus, totally focus without distraction. If something happen, you restart again, and then a 5 minutes break. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in the last you have a long break, like 15 minutes. So you can adjust this time. If I think 25 minutes is not enough for me, I want like better in 30 or more. You decide. But the idea it is sometimes because the importance we have these breaks between the when you are full concentrating in the task, you can, I think the brain can take it for like 4 hours directly. Some people it's okay, but
Yes.
I think in general it's more productive. You make pause and then you make breaks. You like stand up and walk around, and then you back. But it's the importance in totally focus in the task in this 25 minutes. Is the brain, oh, I want 25 minutes, I can then 1 hour, so 25 minutes, and then I think it is a good way when I need to do something important. So I try to do. I started this in the college. Use this method, and it is really good. So, but yeah, that's it.
That's awesome. But like, let me ask you something about this method because I have already seen it, but I think I've never tried. Like I've never read so deep about it. When you are like, let's suppose I'm working during these 25 minutes. If I am interrupted, if I start doing something else, I need to start over the
Yeah, I think
25
it.
minutes.
Yeah, I think the idea you're not like nothing, like no cell phone, no,
Okay.
like if someone like you're in your room and your mother or something call you, Bruna, I think the idea you restart, like not complicate
Eita.
this time for in the Pomodoro.
I got you. Okay, it must be hard. Thank you so much.
No
Now,
pleasure.
what about you? Have you ever tried this method? What are your tips to be more productive?
I'm familiar with the method. I've tried once, but I know it doesn't work to me because I'm more used to staying longer periods concentrated than 25 minutes only. So it's short to me, what I do is I try to organize my days and put the tasks organized, like one task here, then that task I put on the following day, and I organize the times, the right times and hours for me to do this thing, that thing, and I try to organize, and I try to avoid doing 2, 3 things at the same time. I prefer to focus and stay focused. And what I do else, I turn off my cell phone, no alarms, no notification, nothing, because it bothers me a lot. I'm trying to concentrate, and the messages come and pop up, and the cell phone starts brighting, it disturbs me a lot because I lose focus. So I turn off messages. I put my mind on what I'm doing, and I try to be concentrated for that period I planned it before. So, for example, I'm going to take 1 hour to work on a topic and prepare questions for Talk and Talk. I turn off the cell, I stay here, and I start writing. When I see it's too difficult, sometimes we are more distracted, I go grab a glass of something, coffee or tea or water, come back and start over. But I use that 1 hour. When the 1 hour is done, I take a break, then I turn on my cell phone back, and I will see what I have to do next. And I start the next task again, this way again. So I try to do that, to organize very well the tasks along the day. And I try to avoid, this is an important tip, I try to avoid to accumulate too many tasks in the same day, because we tend to want to put everything on Monday, I'm gonna solve everything. No, if you do that, you feel so exhausted that the body's reaction is in the following day, you do nothing because he's overwhelmed, the mind, the body. So you can't respond in the following day. So no, you choose 1, 2 tasks that you don't like to do, you put in one day, you leave the rest to the following days. So once you finished one task, you feel fulfilled, oh, I did it. And you give yourself some time and you start another one, but don't put too many on the same day because it burns you out totally.
Yeah, you brought a great point. For me, it's a big challenge, and it's this something Phil always tells me, because I want to be in contact with a lot of people every day, and then no, 2 people per day is enough, like because sometimes I want to talk to everybody. No, I need to DM them, I need to text them, and it's impossible to handle everything. So this is something
Yes.
I've been learning too. It was really nice what you said, because it is I think this process of understanding ourselves helps a lot, because like for Johnny, it works better work during 25 minutes, and like for you, it works better a longer time. So getting to know ourselves, I think it might be the best strategy.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe for me 25 minutes would be good.
Yes, I need more time, but it's important, as you said, if you try to answer everybody on the same day, you will feel at the end of the day overwhelmed. You may not be aware, but next day to work will be difficult because you are tired, it's too much.
Definitely.
So you need to divide during the week, you divide.
Yeah.
You divide. Yes.
Very good. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And Eduardo and you, what do you do to be productive? What are your tips?
So definitely, as Melissa said, we are not multitask. So we need to make one thing per time. Of course, sometimes we are we are in the we have 3 activities that we need to bring. I don't know, in the end of the day, and we just turn our focus on, but we can't make the same thing in the same time. For this, I use in my I've been using in my I've been used. I don't know. I'm a little confused with this grammar, but I use in my current work life, schedule the tasks. I think it works for me, and I like to use a tools called Pareto, that um, you prioritize the 20% of your tasks most important. I think this is very interesting because, so guys, I think I use the other stalls here in Brazil, but here I think is an illusion to be very, very organized. So even my boss disturbed me every time, even when I put in my teams, don't disturb me. So she disturbed me. So people sometimes are very impolite, are very, and so call you in the same, even you put there, so don't disturb me. And so for this, I think here in Brazil, it's an illusion. We use tools that really organize our time. So I think what really works for me, it's Pareto, that I can put more effort in 20% of my most important tasks.
That's really interesting. I loved it. I didn't know about it. I will share with the guys. I've just it's a website that explains a little bit about this
Yes,
Pareto.
yes, it's really interesting.
Very good. I didn't know about it. I will take a look at it after the meeting, but it seems really interesting, right? Like trying to focus and everything and focus on the endurance, right? To get the result. That's great. Okay, very good. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Let's see the next one, guys. Okay, number 8. And what are the pros and cons of having this crazy daily routine and at the same time be productive? Like when you have a full routine, because I feel that nowadays we are always overwhelmed, just like Mel was saying. We want to do everything and dar conta, I don't know how to say this in English, but maybe handle everything, right? And we also need to be productive at the same time, deal with family, and also with the social life, be in contact with online friends, all these stuff. What are the pros and cons of having this crazy routine and try to be productive at the same time? Eduardo, can you start? Is it good having a crazy daily routine?
So for me, the pros is survive. You to get your salary in the end of the month. The cost is get stressed, get burnout, get cancer, and so I think some companies today, I don't know what they want from their employees. So because uh, sometimes in the same time that they are in uh, a good period, uh, um, with a high profit, and in the same time they want the employees made more and more. I know some uh, some some people that um, beyond the current work life work until midnight, and uh, don't receive any money for this. Okay, sometimes it's necessary, but every day I think it's crazy. I think it's not good for health, and I don't know. I think nowadays we need to think about what we want for our life, and what's more important: get a little more money or get a disease in the future. So I think it's time to think about what we want for the future.
Well, I loved your answer. I loved it. I think you summarized it pretty well. I don't know if there are pros, in having a crazy daily routine. I was trying to think here of the good parts. Maybe sometimes when you have a crazy routine, it's like you sometimes forget the other problems you have. So you are always working so hard that you don't think too much in other problems in your life. This can be positive during a period of time, but I feel that by the end of the day, uh, when you get home, all the feelings will show up again. So it may not be that nice. But I totally agree with you, Edward, that the money by the end of the month might be the only thing. What about you, Mel? What do you think? Are there pros or just cons?
Yes, I agree with you both. I see no pros, as Edward said. The only pro is you're surviving. You do that because you have to do, no alternative. But the cons are many, like as you all said, diseases, problems with your mental health, because you cannot deal with anything else. You only work and solve problems and do this and do that. At the end of the day, you are exhausted and you didn't take care of your emotions, your mental health, and anything. So I only see problems here. And I believe, I hope, I think this mentality nowadays is starting to change, because there are companies now that are a little bit more worried about with their employees regarding if they have time to sleep, for example, because sleeping is so much important, very important. And nowadays people are taking this into consideration. So if your employee doesn't sleep, he won't be able to produce next day. So they are worried about this. But I know it's not the majority. We have a long way to go until that, as Eduardo said. They want only more and more and more, and the employee is like burned out and has nothing to do. So I think that I see this way.
Yes, very good. Thank you so much. I couldn't agree more with you. And it was really nice what you said, that companies are more worried about it, right? Of course, not all of them, and we still have a lot of people working overtime, just like Eduardo said, and burning out. But it's really hard. Thank you. Lira, and could you see any good thing, or just the drawbacks?
Like you said, depends on my goals, For example, I see a pro. For example, 5 years ago, I need to work and study, So I was working almost 12 hours per day, and after that, I was going to college, because I had a goals. I need to a degree, I need to finish my course. So if it's a short period of the time, a crazy daily routine is necessary, because you need to improve your life. That's it. But for a long period of the time, it's not a bad thing to do, because the disease or things like that. That's
Good
it.
point. Good point. Yes. Uh, Maybe if it's for a short period of time, you can work hard to achieve something, right? And this can be something. Yeah.
Exactly.
I haven't thought about it. Yeah. Okay. And what about you, John? Thank you so much, Lida. What do you agree? Johnny, maybe if you want to keep your camera off, I think it will work better because you're freezing. Johnny, can you hear us?
Oh, now I can. I
Okay,
changed
good.
the Wi-Fi.
No, it's
So
okay. It's okay.
the question number 8.
Yes, the pros and cons of having a crazy daily
Yeah.
routine.
So I think the pros we already said. It is the contrary to be procrastination. So I think it is good, but we need the balance in your life, because I think the society press for be productive all the time. It is not good, like sometimes you can feel guilty for not being productive. So sometimes like, it's a time for a rest, for for procrastination, like see a series, and then you can be feel guilty because, oh, I not make something. So just try to this is difficult for me, especially, because sometimes I feel guilty to not, because I don't want to. I have a task for to do, but it is not a problem if I don't do it in that time. But I feel guilty to being something in different, so I think it is a little cons about this team, like in the crazy date, crazy routine. We are pressed to all the time show our value, show be productive in the work, like workaholic, and then in the college and all the time. And I think we need to reset our mind, like breathe, and then no, it is not good for be in this time, all period in your life. We need rest, and it is very important. It is this is some people think if I sleep like few hours, I'll be more productive. No, it is opposite. Like if you sleep, you need the rest. You need sleep enough time to be to have more energy during your day. So yeah, that's it.
Yes, yes. And just like you and Mel said, I think we are kind of changing this mindset, and trying to use our time the best way we can, So I want to move to question number 11 about companies, and how much is important to have a motivator employer to keep the productivity employer, and also the employee. How maybe how is motivation and productivity related? It's a difficult question. Mel, can you start? What do you think?
I think motivation is important for both employer and employees, because the employees are the base, the structure of your company. And motivation is something difficult to, because sometimes you think to yourself, how can I motivate myself to be more excited about doing things, for example, to dedicate more time doing a specific thing. So imagine if it's hard for ourselves to do it, imagine for a CEO in a company. You have the entire company to deal with. So it's hard to find strategies, incentives, rewards, maybe recognition when an employee do something good, solve a problem, or only is productive. If you give him this feeling of you did something good, this recognition, because usually when people are praised, receive compliments, and are recognized, they feel motivated, like, well, I did something good. I'm good too. I'm going to do more of this. I'm going to keep on doing that. And it motivates people in all kinds, in all places. So if you receive a compliment, I think usually it helps a lot. It gives you motivation to go on. You know, I think it's one strategy possible, but there may be much more, of course.
Yes, I loved it. I loved it. And both sides are difficult, right? Like being an employer, being an employee, right? And sometimes when you are the employer of the, or even if you're not the employer but you are the manager, you know, it's really really difficult to keep yourself motivated, just like you said, you know, and also making other people motivated. But I think if we have a motivated leader, you know, if it's an employee or I'm sorry, if it's an employer or a manager, I think it can help. It can help when we are talking about productivity and being productive, you know, because I feel that leaders, they can help us on this way, you know, like it's, of course, that is not like perfect for them too, but it, like, every time I show them a problem I have, they say, oh, maybe if you do this, it can help you, you know. So it kind of clarifies stuff and it makes me more motivated to keep working on stuff, you know. So it's really, really important to have a leader that motivates you somehow, you know, and not like, I don't know, like put you down or something like this.
I agree.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And what about you, Johnny? How do you see it? Do you think it's important to have a motivated employer, sorry?
Yeah, it is. It is important to distinguish employer and employee. I was searched because the employer is the boss now, and the employees is like me. the so yeah, I think it is good to have leaders and who motivate the team, you know, and try to organize and focus everyone to the results of the company, and then how to see in us our qualities and try to use this for the best of the the main topics. And so I was thinking, I think it is good to thinking in another side, like the employee, because the employee make the bell moving. So for the employee, of course, the you have this feedback of your employer. It is important, but it's important the money also, you know, like how you want the. Of course, the employer is good to have words, but our capitalism world it depend of the money, you know. How you want our your employee motivate if he are already concerned about the food, about the other stuffs. So you need translate the ideas, these all the things that is important, but the money in the final of the month, it is so important. So I think we need to not idealize only our separate the real, because in our country, for example, we have in this increase more and more people don't know what do you have lunch, you know, what do you eat. So I think we need like more good salaries for the population, and then this reflection the quality of your the work, you know. So that's it.
Whoa, that was amazing, amazing. Yes, I think it's not just about motivation, right? It's about the system too. It's about payment, education, it's about health, right? I think all these environment. And like this is something Phil is always worried about, you know, like he always says, Bru, it's really important for me, like when you go to the gym, like when you see your therapist, you know, because all of these things, they can make us more productive too, you know, like when you are healthy in terms of like mental and like psychological stuff. It really helps when you are healthy, like physically, it's much better, right? You can work better. Mel said about the sleep, which is amazing too, and it helps too much. So make like basically health is really important. So sometimes motivation isn't everything, right? Thank you so much, Johnny, for bringing this topic. I loved it. Eduardo, and you, what do you think? What's your point of view?
I think the word motivation is a beautiful word, but unfortunately, plus than 95% of the companies don't use it. Unfortunately. So I worked for many companies, and of course, um, um, one work more with motivation than others. But I think if I could summarize, I think I don't know, motivation. Uh, so employee is like a fruit that you cut, put in your mouth, suck out the juice, and throw away. Simple. This.
What?
Yes, unfortunately. Yes, I think that there is companies that the human resource is working uh, with uh, uh, motivation, with tools for motivations, trainings, but the most part of the companies unfortunately don't use it for the woman beings or the employee beings. I don't know. I think I don't know. I know I am a little negative,
No, it's okay.
but unfortunately, I think is it. So I think the numbers shows this. No, the number of the employees. I don't know how can I say afastado from the job because of mental health is crazy
Yes.
in these days. I think this prove what I am trying to think, say that motivation is a beautiful word.
Definitely, definitely. And I think it really connects to what we were talking about, about mental health, about our health in general, sleep, all of these things. I think they are related. And just like you said, like motivation is a beautiful word, but in real life, a lot of companies they just want to take advantage of their employees, right? And I think it really talks about the capitalism and all the system really hard. Lira, what's your point of view? What do you think about it? Do you agree with Eduardo about like
I don't
companies?
know. In some parts, yes, I agree, but I think it's very important to the companies have all these employees motivated at the same time, for example, but it's not an easy task because motivation is personal, no? Everyone has a different kind of motivation. For me, salary is a motivation, but for you, maybe time is motivation. So it's difficult to company to keep all motivated at the same time. One day I am motivated, another day I'm not. So because of that, the company uh, has area like human resource to try to identify it, and I know company that has a channel for your employees to write things or express yourself about the company, think like that, because it's difficult to keep all employees motivated. That's
Yes,
it.
yes, it's a great idea, and I have already seen this too. Like companies who that offer this service, they kind of always get like feedback, right? Like they're always ready
Yes.
to hear it. Yeah, very good.
Like
It's
if
a good
you
idea. And
in one day you see your partner is not good, because you feel that, you know when the person is not good, you can, I don't know, give feedback for him or giving
Yes.
help, advices, things like that.
Very good. It's a great idea. It's a great idea. And I also think I was thinking here, guys, that motivation isn't with us every day, right? Like some days we are more motivated, and some other days we are not, right? It's a really hard concept too, right? Very good, guys. I think I won't start any question because of the time. But I'd like to thank you so much, Mel, Johnny, Lita, and Eduardo for coming. Next
Okay.
week, Bruno is back, but it was a pleasure having you here today. I hope you have a great weekend. Here's the link of the survey. Don't forget to send your feedback for us. Suggest other topics for Bruno, right? Because he's the one. And I couldn't thank you more. Have a great weekend, guys.
Thank you, Bruno,
Thank
for
you
the
for you
too.
meeting.
Thank you for
Have a
having me.
great
See you.